All right, what's up YouTube? Today I'm doing the throttle body install. We have a baby throttle body on our cars, so we're gonna put the bigger one on. Boring. Jesus, so hot. The plenum in question. I'm just gonna get the aftermarket gasket. I'm gonna put them in here and then get like a Sharpie and then draw. And then take the Dremel and Dremel this down. And that way it'll flow nicely.
Seven hours later.
Alright, so whenever you buy eBay throttle bodies, a common problem is they stick. As you guys can see, when I put pressure, it kind of snaps open. So in order to fix that, you're going to have the set screw, and the set screw determines how far closed the throttle plate closes. This is not to be confused with the actual throttle body adjustment right here, but this will just help with the sticking. See, let's get one last look. It's not that bad.
Not as bad as it was.
It could be opened up a lot though. Like, I want to make it so it's like straight up smooth. Alright, so it didn't start, well it did start, but it didn't want to stay running because the intake manifold, like this is how it's supposed to be flat, it was sitting like this. And that's because this is hitting the valve cover. There's a relief in the valve cover for this, but because that this is so much taller, or like down here, it sticks this out and it's hitting the valve cover. We're gonna take the old block off plate and make a new one and just block the idle air control valve as well because it's hitting the valve cover. So I already traced out the old bracket, and then I'm just gonna follow the lines and cut it the same way that one was and drill the holes for the screws. I'm gonna chop the screws so that they're shorter, and then it should work. Alright, so checking the lights on, disconnected the TPS sensor and the idle air control valve, and it's idling good where it's supposed to be. Temperature's up, and here's how it sounds. Yeah, I probably need to let out the screws some more, but I'm gonna go drive it. She wants to die with the AC on.
Yeah. picks up better. A little, at least.
I don't think it feels any different.
The running lights are on. So tell us, how do you feel about it?
It's an L mod. We won't know until we hit the dyno.
Feels more reactive now, though.
So this is take like 5 million. I tried installing this throttle body twice before with the idle valve here. So you need this for your idle air control valve, and then these two I have blocked off on the water neck here, so I don't need those. But you mainly need this whole block for this. But the problem is when you put this on here, it doesn't fit, and so I've been running it with this little block off plate, and I tried to install the spacer here. I bought it from eBay and I had it machined at my local machine shop. Tried to install this, put it on there, and then let's see, I don't have the hardware that it came with, but the hardware that it came with, you can't like screw it down because the embossed area here is like too small to screw it. So I had to go get these screws here. These are M8 by 1.25. and they're like 60 millimeters long, I think. These are the longest they had, and they're like shorter than the screws that this came with, but they should work. And then these are the screws that the throttle body came with that I was using beforehand, but it drove fine. I drove it for a couple weeks like that because honestly I'm too lazy, but I have some days off. I'm gonna go to the dyno, get this done. So I'm gonna go ahead and unscrew this, screw this on. Oh yeah, also for this I got these hex cap screws because these little Phillips screws, they always break. As you can see here, I had to grind it down. They always break. I broke these two, so I only have 3 in right now, and then I have an extra gasket here because the one on here has like a split in it. And yeah, I bought these screws. I don't even know what the size are. You're gonna have to take these screws to the parts store, match them up. You should have like 4 of these that are like long, all the same size, and then you'll have one short one, and it just corresponds to where they go. This is the short one, these are all long. And then I got lock washers for them too. I only have 4. I don't know where the 5th one went. These were in the back of my trunk and now they're all crusty, but yeah, I'm gonna throw this together real quick. All right, so one issue I'm having is now that the throttle body is spaced out, the throttle cable doesn't have enough adjustment for it to be closed when you're off the gas. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take an angle grinder and cut this out. That way I get the little bit more adjustment that I need, and it should still work just fine. Alright, so I'm on the way to the homie's house. I'm gonna swap out my front tires real quick and head to the dyno. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get the car to run like 100% correctly. I don't know how much of the last clip I'm gonna put in, but basically I put the spacer on and I put the FIAB block with the IAC, and it ended up idling like super high, like at like 2 grand. And so there was definitely a vacuum leak somewhere. So I took it all apart and I used RTV on the throttle body gasket, the spacer gasket, and that helped a little bit, but it was still idling high at like 1.5 to 1.8K. So I just stopped recording because like this has been like a month, I kind of want to say like a month and a half process of just trying to get the car to like run properly with this throttle body. So I just like stopped recording and I tried to figure out what was wrong with it. So I ended up taking it home and I remember that the FIAB has like a port and you're supposed to block it off. And I thought that it was already blocked off on this throttle body because it's missing in the middle. So yeah, I didn't think to do that. I went home, I put some steel stick in the port and it actually worked. Last night it was running great and I drove it around here and there and the idle was at 800, 900-ish when you're just sitting with no AC. But now the idle is high again and I literally didn't change anything. It's the next day, so I'm not sure what the problem is. And now that the idle is high, the car, it kind of cuts out here and there. Like, it's very weird. Sometimes it'll just cut out. And it's only doing this with the high idle. So like, it'll cut out while you're driving, like if you're doing a pull or something. So hopefully it doesn't do it when I'm on the dyno. That's what I'm praying for, but we'll see. All right, so we're here at the dyno. About to test the big throttle body. I had to put these wheels on, and then I put the ones on the back, on the front, because this one was on wire, so I didn't want to be on the dyno with one on wire. But we're all set up. See, big throttle body, we got the spacer, 3.5-inch intake, and 2.5-inch exhaust. About to see how much it makes.